You know, when I started doing gaming videos on YouTube, I wanted to talk about some of the games and series as a whole I experienced as a kid, and I haven't really done that yet. Sunset Riders was a recent discovery when I bought my Super Nintendo from a buddy of mine, and NBA Jam on the 360 was a gift through the Secret Santa deal on Pete's Game Room Forum this last Christmas. So for today's video, I decided to dig into the PS1 library of games, and thinking about some of my standout titles for the system, and the fact that this series is going back to its roots in an HD remake later in the month. Today, I decided to review the classic Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, or Tony Hawk's Skateboarding in Europe, is a skateboarding video game developed by Neversoft and published by Activision for the Sony PlayStation. Released on August 31st, 1999 in North America and Europe, and March 30th, 2000 in Japan, it was praised for its amazing level design, solid soundtrack, and genius control system, and was a smash hit, and it was also later released for the Game Boy Color, Nintendo 64, Sega Dreamcast, and N-Gage. Gameplay-wise, you pick a skater and you start a career through 9 levels gathering 30 tapes by completing different tasks, and the other 3 levels are competitions. Basically, the object there is to get the most points without crashing. The more you crash, the lower your judges' scores are going to be. Out of 3 heats, the top 2 are counted added together, and that is your score for the competition. In the other 6 levels, they each have 5 goals to complete, and they include getting a high and a pro score, finding a secret tape, gathering the letters to spell skate, and various other tasks that's unique to each level. Score points by doing combos linking together the various grab, grind, and flip tricks, often spinning, and using the assorted ramps and rails in the levels to do so. And as you do this, you fill up a special meter. When it's full, it allows you to pull off special tricks. Everyone has 3, but Tony Hawk is the exception with 4. Well, of course, I mean, it's his game. Now, minor gripe here, and this is in no way knocking the game, but after playing the later games in the series that introduced tricks like the manual and revert to link combos together, playing this takes a little getting used to. But I don't know, just for me it was harder to go back and play the first one after being virtually spoiled by the later games, so to speak. But in no way am I knocking the game for that. It's still an amazing game. Control-wise, it's very well done. You can adjust how loose or tight your turning is when you're picking your board, and move commands are very simple. Square for flips, triangle for grinds, circle for grabs, X to jump. Also, single or double tapping up before jumping allows you to boost even higher, needed to clear the much larger gaps in the game. And R1 and L1 allow you to spin faster. Specials are done by pressing 2 different directions and then a face button. All the levels are designed extremely well and offer up many different lines to combo and score major points. I love the controls in this game. They're very easy to learn, simple to pick up and play. The levels themselves are also done very well. While the competition levels are small, compact, and each have their own theme and layout, and those range from an indoor vert layout complete with quarter pipes, half pipes, and an absolutely massive bowl. In the second competition, there are less ramps to trick off of, but there are some pretty creative lines in there to score points. And the third competition is, well, I won't spoil it for you. The main levels, however, take you around the US to a warehouse, a high school, a mall, and quite a few other interesting locations. All these levels are much more massive, and some have vehicles roaming around that could run your ass over. Every level features all kinds of rails, ramps, and gaps to find. Some of these gaps are obvious, some, however, are not. All the levels are done very well and help add to the game's value. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater also has a memorable soundtrack that absolutely adds to the experience. None of the sound effects take away from the music at all, but you can also turn the sound effects off and just enjoy the soundtrack by itself. With bands like Dead Kennedys, Suicidal Tendencies, and Goldfinger playing in the background, it absolutely adds to the atmosphere of the game and enhances the experience. Overall, the game was a solid introduction to the Tony Hawk franchise. Before the series got stale and ran straight into the ground with needless skateboard peripherals, and being released every year like Activision did with Guitar Hero and are doing with Call of Duty, it was a great game in the PS1 library and starts off one of my favorite series of all time. I can only hope that the new HD remake is just as awesome as the early games in the series. Will I do them all? I plan on it. Pegasus out.